Hello everyone, this is Swarup, Assistant Professor from Mechanical Department. So today we'll be studying about the subject heat transfer.
Transfer.
So today we'll be studying about the module 5, that is heat exchanger. Okay. So under heat exchanger we'll be studying the problems based on NTU and effectiveness. So the very first problem, steam condenses at atmospheric pressure on the external surface of the tubes of a steam condenser. The tubes are 12 in numbers and each in 30 mm in diameter and 10 mm long. Okay. The inlet and outlet temperatures of the cooling water flowing inside the tubes are 25 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius respectively. If the flow rate is 1.1 kg per second, calculate the following. He is asking the rate of condensation of steam, the mean overall heat transfer coefficient, okay, based on the inner surface area, the number of transfer units, the effectiveness of the condenser. Okay. So let's see. So here the steam is the hot fluid which is at 100 degrees Celsius, which is not mentioned in the question, but usually we have to assume if he has given steam as a fluid, that is hot fluid, we have to assume it as a 100 degrees Celsius because the steam is being passed throughout the pipe, which will be the constant temperature which is at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now what is asking? The rate of condensation of steam means he has given the temperature at which the rise of temperature, that is cold fluid temperature, is being increasing from 25 degrees to 60 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now let's see. So he has given the number of tubes as 12. Okay. So he has given inlet diameter and length of the tube, cold fluid temperatures at inlet and outlet, and hot fluid temperature as 100 degrees Celsius. Simultaneously, mass flow rate, okay, of the water or cold fluid, which is 1.1 kg per second. Now, according to energy balance equation, heat, that is hot fluid, will be losing the heat, okay, and similarly the cold fluid will be gaining the heat, which will be equal in case. So if you equate to that, okay, where h of g at the atmospheric pressure, okay, since hot fluid conditions where the parameters has not been given, so you can directly consider it as mass flow rate into latent heat of steam. So latent heat of steam, you can remember this 2257 kg per kilojoules per kg. Okay. So if you remember this, you can directly use this value for solving the mass flow rate of the steam. Okay. This is the mass flow rate of the steam. So next one is the mean overall heat. So to find the value of that, so we need the value of Q. Okay. Once we get the heat transfer, that is Q, you can calculate the value of U. Simultaneously, if you know the temperatures of the hot fluid and the cold fluid, you can calculate the value of theta m and area. So if it has given the number of cubes, that is m, you can directly multiply it with the pi dl to get the total overall area of the heat exchanger. So once you get the value of A, theta m and Q, you can directly substitute in this equation to get the value of overall heat transfer coefficient. Okay. Now next one is the number of transfer units, which is NTU. Okay. So now in this step, which is very much important, is to calculate the C minimum. Okay. C minimum is m dash into CPC, where the cold fluid minimum is the specific heat. Okay. 1.1 into this. So you can take this is the minimum value. As I told you, C minimum, C maximum. Which is the C minimum value? That value you have to take. That is CPC will be the 4.187 10 raised to 3, which is not given in the question, but you have to remember the specific heat of water is 4.187 into 10 raised to 3. Okay. So once you get the value of C minimum, if you substitute back in this NTU formula, that is this formula you will be getting from data handbook. You can directly go for the data handbook, because I am not mentioning here the number of page number, because a different edition consists of different page numbers. Okay. If you go to heat exchangers topic, so there the formulas are listed in a sequential manner, so that you can directly take it from there. So UA by C minimum. Okay. If you substitute the values here, you will be getting the NTU. So once you get the value of NTU, next step is to find out the effectiveness. The formula, this formula is also available in the data handbook. It is 1 minus epsilon to the power of minus NTU. Okay. So epsilon is equals to 0.47. What is this 0.47? This is nothing but effectiveness of the heat exchanger. That is nothing but a condenser. Okay. So next one is a condenser, a counterflow heat exchanger. So he has given the type of flow which is counterflow. Okay, is employed, okay, to cool 0.55 kg per second. Okay, so he has given the mass flow rate. So you have to remember it carefully. Oil from 115 to 40. This is, he has given the temperatures of the hot fluid. The inlet and outlet temperatures of the cooling water are 15 degrees and 75 degrees. So he has given the temperatures of the cooling water. Okay. Now the overall heat transfer coefficient is expected to be 1450. He has given the U. Okay, using NTU method, calculate the following, that is the mass flow rate of water, the effectiveness of heat exchanger, the surface area required. So these are the three things you need to find it out from this problem. Okay, so just draw the temperature distribution according to counter flow. Okay, so indicate the temperatures. So now the very first thing is you need to find out the, just note down the given values. The very first thing is you need to find out the mass flow rate of the water. Okay, how to find the mass flow rate of the water? So initially the first equation is energy balance equation between the hot fluid and the cold fluid. Okay, if you write it down, the either value, that is mass flow rate of the cold fluid, you can calculate easily. Okay, so if you substitute the values of mH, Cph from the hot fluid, okay, if you substitute values of temperatures, you will be getting the mass flow rate of the cold fluid. Okay, now the effectiveness of heat exchanger, that is epsilon. How to calculate the effect epsilon? Because we can use the formula, the thermal capacity of cold water, that is MC into Cpc, that is a common thing, the formula. Similarly, thermal capacity of heat fluid, CH, that is MH into Cph. Okay, just substitute here, you will be getting the thermal capacity cold and hot. Check here, Cc will be greater than Ch. Okay, hence effectiveness of the heat exchanger is given by epsilon is equals to actual heat transfer divided by maximum possible heat transfer. Okay, substitute the temperatures here, we will be getting the effectiveness. Third one is the surface area required. So he is asking the values of area. Okay, now the very much important step here is C minimum, that is by C maximum you can directly take it as in terms of R. Okay, that is 0.806. Okay, so this is the formula for a counter flow heat exchanger, epsilon. You can get it from the data handbook. Okay, where R is nothing but C minimum by C maximum. Okay, now if you substitute the values of NTU, C minimum, C maximum, okay, so you will be getting the values of, you know the epsilon, you know the NTU, sorry, you don't know the NTU, you know the R. Okay, you need to find the value of NTU. If you cross multiply and apply the limits, okay, exchange and apply the ln on the left hand side by taking out exponential from the right hand side, you will be getting the NTU. Okay, now once you get the value of NTU, you can directly calculate the value of area, that is UA by C minimum. Okay, so this is the procedure to calculate area with respect to NTU method. Okay, in question papers you will be separately asking find using NTU method. So this is the procedure to calculate the area with respect to NTU method. Okay, so this is very much important problem with respect to university examinations point of view. Okay, so next, 16.5 kgs of the product at 650 degrees Celsius in a chemical plant are to be used to heat 220 kgs per second of the incoming fluid from the 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, if the overall heat transfer coefficient is 0.95 and the installed heat surface is 44 meters square, calculate the fluid outlet temperatures for the counter flow and parallel flow arrangement. So he has given certain values with respect to hot fluid and cold fluid. Okay, now so what is asking, so very first thing is counter flow and parallel flow arrangements he is asking. So we need to find based on counter flow and parallel flow. The very first case is counter flow arrangements. Okay, now initially the thermal capacities of hot fluid and cold fluid need to be calculated, that is CH and CC. CH is what? MH into CPH. Okay, MH is mass flow rate of hot fluid, CPH is specific heat of hot fluid. Okay, if we substitute back here all the two things, we will be getting the value of CH and CC. Okay, so once we get the value of CC, next thing is the cold fluid is maximum fluid, whereas the hot fluid is the minimum fluid, because the values if you compare here, this is the minimum. Okay, now to find the value of R, C minimum by C maximum. Okay, so this is the formula for R. How to calculate the value? NTU UA by C minimum. U he has given, area he has given, C minimum is you found it out from here, you will be getting the value of NTU. Once you get the value of NTU and R, you can find it out effectiveness with respect to counter flow. This is the formula which is available in the data handbook. Okay, if we substitute back here NTU and R, we will be getting the value of epsilon, that is epsilon is equals to 0.443. Okay, now further epsilon, we know the definition of epsilon. Okay, so this is the formula for epsilon. Okay, because the hot fluid is minimum, we have to see minimum. Okay, so this is the effectiveness where CH is C minimum, both will be cancelling. Okay, epsilon is equals to 0.443. So from here TH2 you have to calculate, that is 406.35 degrees Celsius. Okay. Also epsilon is equals to, you can go with respect to cold fluid, that is C my C minimum. Okay, since you directly substitute here, you will be getting the values of Tc2. So this is the temperature calculations using the method of effectiveness and NTU. Okay, just practice twice, will be easy for you. Okay, next is parallel flow arrangements. The very parallel flow arrangements, similar procedure, you need to take it out from formula from the data handbook. Okay, with respect to parallel flow, substitute the values of NTU and R will be in the effectiveness. So once you get the value of effectiveness, substitute it back in the effectiveness formula to find the value of Tc2. Okay, this is the temperature with respect to the parallel flow. This is the temperature with respect to counter flow. Okay. So this completes heat exchanger problems based on effectiveness and NTU. Okay. So thank you guys.